Human behavior is a term used to describe our physical and emotional behaviors. How we think, act, and interact with other people are examples of human behavior. Now, at times, our behavior is easy to understand. If you're on a road trip and your gas light comes on, you'd think, well, I need gas, then you'd find the next station and fill up. But at other times, human behavior is confusing and hard to explain. Imagine a person who sees their partner talking with an attractive coworker. And even though it's nothing more than a harmless work conversation, they feel jealous and then pick an unnecessary fight. Or imagine the person who has a very successful career that most people would kill for, yet they feel an unexplainable desire to quit and begin a career as an artist. The truth is, there's a lot of value in learning how to better understand human behavior. When dealing with other people, this allows you to understand why they do what they do. And this skill helps you build relationships, become a better communicator, and can even help with negotiation. At the same time, learning how to understand human behavior can also help you make sense of your own behavior, which at times, if you're like most people, can be rather confusing. This skill can help you make better decisions, accomplish your goals, and in general, live a more satisfying and fulfilling life. So in this video, I want to teach you a simple system for understanding human behavior. Let's get started. The key to understanding human behavior is understanding motivation. And that's because motivation is the driving force behind everything we do. When you understand what motivates someone, you can make sense of their behavior. Sometimes it's easy to understand the motivation behind a behavior. As an example, it's easy to understand why a thirsty person drinks. But at other times, it's not so straightforward. Using the example I used earlier, it's hard to understand what would motivate a jealous partner to pick an unnecessary fight. Well, thankfully, the work of psychologist Abraham Maslow can help us answer this question. Maslow is best known for creating something called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is a categorized list of human needs. This list is helpful because you can use it to understand motivation. So here's a breakdown of Maslow's 5 categories. The first category is physiological needs, and they motivate us because we need them to survive. Food, water, shelter, oxygen, sex, and sleep are examples of physiological needs. The second category is safety needs, and they motivate us because they help us feel secure and in control of our lives. Our need for financial security, emotional stability, and avoiding danger are examples of safety needs. The third category is belongingness and love needs, which defines our motivation for social connection. Our desire for friendship, romantic relationships, family, and community are examples of belongingness and love needs. The fourth category are esteem needs, and they motivate us because they help us feel good about ourselves. So our need to feel important, respected, recognized, and appreciated are examples of esteem needs. And the fifth category is self-actualization needs, which defines our motivation to use our talents to the best of our ability. So self-improvement, career advancement, and creative achievements are examples of self-actualization needs. Maslow's theory is commonly depicted as a diagram of a pyramid, with stage 1 physiological needs at the base of the pyramid and more advanced needs at higher tiers. When it comes to understanding human behavior, Maslow's theory is a good starting point, but it's not perfect. In fact, many people have criticized Maslow's model, and even Maslow himself reworked his theory many times. So let's start by talking about what Maslow got wrong. Maslow initially believed that needs had to be met in order from most basic to advanced. As an example, if someone wanted to fulfill a level 4 esteem need, let's say the desire to feel recognized in their career, they would first need to fulfill all level 1, 2, and 3 needs. Maslow also thought that his model could explain motivation and behavior. He suggested that people would naturally feel motivated to fulfill needs as they work their way through the hierarchy. So someone who fulfilled all level 1 needs would then feel naturally motivated to fulfill all level 2 needs. And somebody who fulfilled all level 2 needs would then feel naturally motivated to fulfill all level 3 needs. This pattern of motivation and behavior was expected to continue all the way up to level 5 of the hierarchy. At first glance, this theory appears to make sense, and that's because you can't work on career development if you're dead. But this model quickly breaks down, and that's because once basic survival needs are met, human behavior doesn't follow a predefined linear path. Instead, it's quite variable. Really, as long as you're alive, deciding what need you want to fulfill is a matter of choice. You see, many people have developed a friendship, which is a level 3 need, long before they've established financial security, which is a level 2 need. And many people have started their own business, which is a level 5 need, long before they've built a romantic relationship, which is a level 3 need. In fact, most of Maslow's needs aren't really needs. You don't need financial security, romantic relationships, or self-confidence. Therefore, Maslow's hierarchy isn't really a hierarchy at all. Instead, it's better to think of Maslow's needs as categories of things that motivate us. Let me explain. The same behavior, let's say taking a new job, can be the result of many different sources of motivation. So if you're broke, you might take the job to pay the bills. If you're lonely, you might take it to feel connected. And if you're financially free, you might take the job because you find it rewarding. This model of viewing needs as categories of things that motivate us makes it much easier to understand human behavior. And that's because you don't have to fit all human behavior into a predefined linear model. Instead, you can understand human behavior by simply connecting a behavior to a motive. So, if we get to choose what needs we want to fulfill after basic survival needs are met, the next question becomes, what motivates a person to focus on one thing over another? And you can answer that question with attention. You see, your motivation and behavior are highly influenced by what holds your attention. So if you see a bear in the woods, that motivates you to run. If you're feeling bored, that motivates you to do something fun. And if you're single and you notice an attractive guy or a girl in a coffee shop, that motivates you to initiate a conversation. Attention also explains why Maslow thought that needs were met in order from most basic to advanced. Here's why. In general, as your level of stability in life increases, so does your freedom to choose where you focus your attention. And that's because lower level needs tend to grab your attention more than higher level needs. Just think, if you find yourself without oxygen, you have little choice in where you focus your attention. But if you're rich, emotionally stable, and safe, then you have a lot of options. You see, when you don't have to focus on survival and safety, you're free to focus on things like self-fulfillment and self-confidence. Now, this rule isn't always true. It's important to keep in mind that choice also plays a role in attention. As an example, the starving artist is a perfect example of someone who chooses creative achievement over financial security. Okay, with all that said, here are 3 ideas that you can use to better understand human behavior. Idea number 1 is don't overcomplicate it. As you've learned, Maslow didn't get everything right, but a lot of his model was brilliant. You see, Maslow's categories are helpful because they're such a simple model for understanding human behavior. In fact, you can reduce most human behavior down to one or more of Maslow's categories. You eat dinner with friends because it satisfies your desire for food and friendship. You check Instagram because it satisfies your desire for social connection and recognition. And you start a business because it satisfies your desire for financial security and self-fulfillment. Unfortunately, many people believe that human behavior is far more complicated than it is. They look for deep psychological reasons to explain every behavior, but that's not necessary. The main point here is to keep it simple. The next time you're trying to understand what's motivating someone's behavior, look no farther than Maslow's categories. Idea number 2 is pay attention to attention. If you understand what has someone's attention, then you have a better chance of understanding their behavior. Here's a few examples. If your best friend just started a new relationship, that would explain why they have less time for you. If a straight-A student is having trouble at home, that would explain why their grades are starting to slip. And if you've recently lost a loved one, that would explain why you're having a hard time focusing at work. And idea number 3 is ask if they are gaining or maintaining. When analyzing human behavior, a lot of people only consider what a person has to gain. For example, the desire to gain financial security explains why many people might take a job. But by itself, this is a limited view. And that's because a lot of human behavior is motivated by what a person has to lose. A person might not follow their dream of becoming an entrepreneur because they fear losing financial security. You see, once a need is met, many people will behave in ways to maintain what they have. And this fact answers a question that I asked at the beginning of this video. That is, why would a jealous partner pick an unnecessary fight? So here's one potential answer. When a jealous person sees their partner talking to an attractive coworker, they fear losing their relationship. So they pick a fight in an attempt to control the situation and maintain the relationship that they have. Before I go, I want to leave you with one final thought, and that is the ability to understand human behavior is a helpful tool, not a superpower. So don't think that by watching this video, you have the ability to read minds. My goal with this information is to help you improve the way you communicate. So if you're having a conversation with your spouse and you get the sense that they're upset, don't automatically assume that you're right. Instead, use that sign as a clue to ask clarifying questions. Now, if you keep this in mind moving forward, then I think you'll find the ideas in this video extremely helpful for everyday life. I can't thank you enough for watching this video, and I hope it was helpful. Now, I am shamelessly trying to grow this channel, so it would mean the world if you could subscribe, like, and share this video. Believe it or not, it takes over 100 hours to create these videos, so any help would be greatly appreciated. Now, if you want more information like this, I highly recommend you check out my app, Aware. Aware is a self-improvement based meditation app that teaches you important skills like how to make better decisions, build good habits, and develop more self-confidence. The app combines all of those lessons with guided meditation, which helps you develop the state of mind and self-awareness needed to apply what you've learned. On top of that, you also get the benefits of meditation, like improved focus and sleep, plus a reduction in negative emotions like stress, anxiety, and sadness. So if you like the type of content you see on this channel and self-improvement in general, then I think you'll love Aware. It's available on iOS, Android, and the web, and you can get started today for free with the links below in the description. As a final note, I've also listed some helpful resources below, like a transcript of this video that covers all of the ideas I shared today in a clear and organized format. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you soon.